Here I was thinking, a couple of days ago, a week ago, I'm not entirely sure when this one's going to come out, might have found the perfect story in order to sum up her female nature in a nutshell, with the chick who was running a marathon in order to aid her ex-boyfriend's cancer situation that she dumped during his most trying times with a brain tumor because he was just kind of a buzzkill. But here you have a chick who's just cutting right to the chase. Some people have said, some people tell me that this is one of the most sickening stories, but here I am over here just going, yeah, okay, like, what's the problem? You see this shit happen all the fucking time, okay? It's just normally colored up and covered up with a bunch of different flowery language, but she's at least, getting right down to the point. I divorced my dying husband. He wallowed in self-pity and killed my vibe. You know what this is? This is called advertisement, kids. Oh my God, she's just so heartless that's out there, but you take a look at some of the pictures that they use in order to advertise her. Yeah, you know exactly what time this is, okay? This is all just simply a sales funnel. Oh, you're a widow. Oh, that's such a bad situation. She doesn't look all that bad for her age, though. Yeah, oh, how could she be so heartless? Ooh, like, come on. You know what this is. A woman has opened up about why she divorced her dying husband. But no, women love harder than men, and women just, the only reason that they leave is because their men always just consistently cheat. Like, come on, just go ahead and throw out some more cliches, why don't you, fuckers? Yana Fry, 40, wed her late husband when she was 22 years old. Oh, see, she gave him all of her best years while he ended up doing that stupid selfish shit like getting testicle cancer. Like, come on, man. Why wasn't she thinking about her? Why couldn't he just man up and accept the fact that he was going to be getting divorced because he was no longer that man? He should have just prayed harder, guys. That's what those trad cucks will try to tell you. But yes, and dreamed of starting a family with him. Okay, so she's 40. He got nut cancer. How far into this? So they were together theoretically for what? More or less 18 years, and they couldn't figure out how to make some kids? Like, what are we doing here? Or are we also discovering something else that, maybe some of these chicks, most of these chicks, don't actually want to be wives. They just want a wedding. Just saying. But the bride's dreams were soon dashed when her husband, then 37, was diagnosed with testicular cancer. We couldn't really talk about our future. Fry told Caters, "How do you plan for your future as a newly married couple when you're struggling with something like cancer?" What says you left him? He was the one who's struggling with cancer. People react in one of two ways of critical illness. I've seen it over and over again, she continues. My first type was how my husband unfortunately was. Yeah. The people who drown in self-pity. Fucker has cancer, for Christ's sakes. Like, I understand maybe being a little bit proactive and in better spirits, but again, nothing that she did that contributed to the breakup and the dissolution of this relationship. He had cancer. What else was I supposed to do? The second type are the people who instead concerned with everyone around them. And she's going to try to say that she falls into the secondary category? Interesting. Not working through. Because I think, okay, like, I haven't been married. I'm not that fucking dumb. But what's one of those vows through sickness and in health? And she's like, nah, just in health and make sure that I'm in the will, fucker. Fry, who was living in New York City with her husband. We know exactly what time it is. Come on, man. Said no one was worried about how she was doing during this difficult time. See, what was she going through right now? Not the guy who's dying of testicle cancer, but no. How was she doing? We saw different kinds of doctors. Not a single person ever offered to help me, she bemoaned. They never asked, do you need a support system? Are you in a counseling group? He's wasting away, writhing in chemotherapy pain, but how is she doing? Somebody's still gonna wife this fucking whore up. Like, come on, man. Fry's husband continued treatment for his cancer, but the disease only worsened. Yeah, we know he's dead. I think we know ultimately how bad it gets. But you can also tell, like, right there by this picture, okay, nothing against, he's like, holy fuck, super dead and all, but again, just draw the lines right there, okay? He's kind of a dorky dude. He's probably making, a fair amount of money. She was much more attractive than he could ever hope to pull regularly. Even if he didn't die of cancer, still would have ended up getting divorced. Like, let's call it what it is. I was hoping for the best with my ex-husband's cancer, but then the years went by and I started to lose hope. It was 5 years with all the treatments and started to change the dynamics within our relationship. It was until that 5th year that I started to think about leaving. I'm sure. But I felt like, Merch, I couldn't say anything. When somebody is dying next to you, I feel like you can't talk about it. So it's better to speak ill on the dead afterwards. Yeah, you were kind of a fucking buzzkill. Meanwhile, when you were like losing all of your hair, we were having to buy smaller clothes because you were like wasting away. And I'm like, oh my God, Christ almighty. If I'm wearing a bigger shirt than my husband, fuck, I can't look like that in public. Now, Fry says she was motivated to finally leave her sickly spouse after a friend took their own life. Oh, see, look at all of this bad stuff that's happening directly to her. I had a friend kill themselves. My ex-husband, he was dying of cancer, but nobody was asking me what I was doing. It was my first funeral, and it was very shocking. How fucking old? We don't have timelines or anything like this on this goofy bitch. Fry explained as her pal's unexpected suicide. Yes, probably because, oh my God, could you check out my friend over here? She's so fucking intolerable. In my mind at the time, suicide became an option. Yeah, just like every woman. Women attempt suicide more than men. Yeah, attempt. Again, cries for help. And another thing that men are better at than women. Anyways, I've never considered that before. It was such a bad state. Exactly. It was a really bad look for me. It was very clear to me that if I didn't save myself, I was probably going to die, she dramatically added. That was some of her parting advice for her ex-husband. Why don't you just, save yourself? It's 5 years of, big sad over here, so can't you, fix that? Fry subsequently filed for divorce from her husband, leaving him stunned. No, that was just because the morphine kicked in at that point because he was in excruciating pain. His main focus was more and more so about him. Oh my God. Oh! I can't... Yo! How... This bitch is so fucking heartless, man. I wonder if she talked about the date that she brought to his funeral. At the beginning of his treatment, he was still checking on me. Oh, but he felt even more pity for himself because of the divorce. Yeah, exactly. He's going through a divorce while he's dying of cancer. Oh my God. Guys. You are nothing to your woman if you can't provide safety and security. Drill it through your fucking mind. You have to shop for women like they shop for you. There's no two ways about it. You can be like all of those fucking blue-pilled idiots that are out there just saying, oh, red pill, I just care about fucking and chucking and dumping. You know what the real man does? Oh, he creates a legacy. He has kids. You don't know what life is like without children. Yeah, until you end up in a situation like this when you realize that your chick was only with you because you were that fucking guy and you can no longer be that fucking guy and it's adios. It doesn't change the fact that, yeah, eventually, once I figure out and find a girl who's worthy of my time and worthy of my last name and my resources and everything that I've accrued for myself, I understand that I have to stay at the top of my game in order to demand that same amount of respect. But that's what the other side of the equation ends up fucking missing out on that. The guys who are out there just proselytizing, just pray harder, bro. Subscribe to Daily Mail or Daily Wire Plus and everything will just be fine. All you can do is just live your life by our tenets. Just man up and wife up these hoes. All you fucking dorks get the divorces that you deserve. I can't say why, that he was hugely supportive. Oh, we gotta go back to this fucking atrocity. She further admitted for her decision to end the union. But what was harder was the reaction of society, which I didn't expect. Yo, man, these chicks just live in their own fucking world. Female solipsism is the strongest force. Not hydrogen, not plutonium, not uranium. No. The most consistent force on the planet is female narcissism. Fry says people sent her horrible messages that her husband's family was disappointed. Yeah, no doubt. Through sickness and in health. Nah, it's just kind of like... by sickness, he meant like the flu or cough. Maybe, it depends on what gets amputated. But, if you lose a limb or something like that. But cancer's like a bummer, so no. People were in pain and they wanted to blame someone. They're never gonna learn. Don't try to save them. They don't want to be saved. Fry said she and her husband subsequently stopped talking. Yeah, exactly. That's mostly because he lost control of his lungs and didn't have the energy to do it. He ended up remarrying before he passed away 2 years later. What about her? What about what she's trying to do? I actually found out on Facebook that he passed... Yo, holy fuck! Yo! Yeah, I found out on Facebook that the guy, like, married and all that shit. He, like, fucking died, I guess. There was a picture of him from a common friend, and it said rest in peace, and I was like, oh, God, I'm so glad I got out of that relationship. I would have ended up, just wasting away. My best years would have been put behind me, just doting over somebody dealing with an inoperable cancer. My first reaction was, you must be joking. Someone would have called me and told me, no, you left him high and dry, and they didn't think, oh, geez, where did Brenda go? I forget this bitch's name. It really doesn't much matter. I know her last name's Fry. What I'm thinking and hoping will be included in the next chair that she sits down in. Fry has since moved to Singapore and works as a life coach. You can't make any of this shit up, man. Come on. She is also remarried. Yeah, of course, to some tiny little Singapore guy who probably makes a boatload of cash and gives it all to his queen. She says she has no regrets. Of course she doesn't, about leaving her dying husband. But she admits she spent years in therapy trying to work through her complicated emotions. These bitches, man. They always talk about, we care about men's mental health, which is just covert words for, yeah, why can't men just emote like women do? Okay, because we don't understand the world outside of our own little fucked up purview. I feel we, especially women, are just usually brought up in the mentality to serve others until shit gets too hard, then it's adios. But when you go against it, you learn a lot about resilience and self-awareness, Fry declared. I had to have years of therapy to learn that I'm not a horrible person for making the decision that I did. No, divorce, it happens. It's kind of like a coin flip in today's day and age. So, no, you're not horrible for divorce. It's just the rest of the context that surrounds it. You kind of left your dying husband. It's kind of an L. But what's more important to understand is the amount of narcissism that's on display. I would consider that to be the horrible act, but to each their own. She said she holds no bad feelings toward her late ex-husband. Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm sure that's a big weight off of his shoulders, despite their difficult marriage. Their difficult marriage. His cancer. Fucking Christ. I was so happy and so thrilled that he died. Oh no, that he got remarried before the end. I genuinely hoped that they had a beautiful life together for 2 years. Well, you probably added to his misery, but we're never going to hear that other side of the story because you're out there living your best life as a fucking life coach. Probably just giving women other dog shit advice. But yeah, if you're dumb enough to take her advice, I don't know, just hit her up. Apparently she's in Singapore. But yeah, guys, hey man. Don't get mad at this situation. I'm not even mad at this chick. I find the story to be completely and utterly hilarious because we've seen it at different levels before. This might be the most extreme example, but understand what's at play. Understand that you have to be that guy. You have to be that protector, provider, provisioner, not just for any bitch that's out there. You've also got to do your own recognizance on these chicks. Just because she's the hottest one that you've ever had. Just because, I think that she'd be a good girl. Well, busted bitches come in all shapes and sizes. Vet your woman in order to hopefully mitigate a risk. Hopefully you find a good one that will help you out through your cancer treatment. Fucking Christ. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.